Too many parts, huh? Have to go through all this crap just to find these. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. Speaking about batteries, the other day, I have one of these headlight harnesses. You see these power leads that come off the battery? It goes into a whole relay system and connects into the headlight over here. See, it's half it over there. And basically it just, has relays on it, so it creates less of a voltage drop, and it has power going straight from the battery. So it gives my 80 low beam, 100 watt high beams a little more power. But I never liked the way this battery has been like that. I sandwiched the leads underneath the terminals. I never liked it. I wish I never hacked up the stock battery cables. But today, I think I'm gonna put these little gold things back on. Well, actually, this car never had them, but that car has them for years. But I'm gonna put these on here, just so the battery gets. This cables get a nice connection against the battery instead of going through these little eyelets first and then going to the battery. I don't know if it's gonna make a difference, but I never particularly liked that, the way the battery cables are seating. I think the battery cable should be tight against the battery, and they're not in this kind of position. So let's get to work. Disconnect the negative first. See, what I did was I just notched out the whole side of that terminal, and then I actually ground those. It had like 4 little pegs on it that help it bite into the battery, and I ground those off. And I should have probably done that. And then, so instead of this big flat area connecting to this battery over here, have an eyelet first, and then that goes with that. I just never liked that, so I'm gonna change it up. I should really buy these battery cables that this guy makes. They're aftermarket and they're fatter and they work pretty good, but they're like 95 bucks, and I don't really feel like spending that on this car now, right now. So I'll do this. See if I like this. Okay, I've installed the new battery terminal bolts. As you see, it's on. Definitely with my rigging over here, cutting them all off and taking those tangs out. Those 4 little pegs are designed to lock into the lid on the battery, so they can't rock back and forth. So now I actually have these a little too tight, but that's what I can do for the situation. Definitely get yourself a little 3/4 inch stubby wrench. I was using a big 3/4 inch in the past, but then I finally bought a stubby wrench. When using the big wrench, it's just awkward, and when you want to tighten it, sometimes you gotta go close to the other one, and I did. I sparked it a couple times on that car, so I went, let me get a stubby wrench, and I did. But the little bolts that go in here, 9/16, the ground just goes just like so. Go right on, and we're good. So maybe that will fix some of like the starting problems. Sometimes when you start this thing, even with the battery fully cranked, I think it's not getting a good connection when this was sandwiched between the terminal, when this can go on the outside. There's also a auxiliary post over here. You could really extend that, put that over there, and put the ground over here. You very well could, but I was thinking about it. And there you have it. Just like how the wagon is. I wish I did that years ago. I was probably about, who knows, maybe 20 years old when I did that. So it was some years ago. And it'll be close to 30. 10 years soon. Oh no, not quite. Show you my age, but yeah. Young and stupid. But we got it done, but this looks way better, I think. And again, I should really just buy those cables. They're really fat, especially coming off the alternator. And they're pretty easy to hook up. You get that one wire over here, and you get the ground, and one goes to the starter. And then I think you take that wire off over here too that goes to your auxiliary post. So it's not really that big of a job. The worst thing is hooking up to the starter. And then, it feeds down on the frame. Somewhere down there it runs. I think there's a... No, that's the power wire right there, yeah. It's real close to the headers. I'll go over here. There it is right there, and following it to the starter. But I should get them. I think it's going to make an improvement though. Excellent. And remember, stubby wrench. Big difference. So, throw up against on this thing. Still got a bad AC compressor. Really got to change that. And I got rigged up hoses. Should have fixed that too. since it's not 10 o'clock yet. See if it starts up. I hate doing this. There's oil in this car. 11/20, 2010. 10. Hear that pump? This pump is shot. Still scrambled. And the volt gauge goes whee. Lights work, lights work. Why does it gotta do that? Tried so many times. Damn car. It's gonna get a Z28 cluster if this keeps doing its shit. 47,000 miles, cluster's freaked out. Runs, and that fuel pump does not sound good. That's why that thing's gonna be going next, sucking up all that old fuel. Poor old car.